Imagine your heart made up of so many facets on the surface. Within each layer of the heart, there are more facets embedded in it. For a moment, can you imagine the reflection of light that emanates through such a heart? How powerful of a portal your hearts are? That's who you really are. A beacon of love and light, constantly shining bright.
The channel is quite open. Many beings would like to come through. However, only one today will. Hmm. Sacred geometry of all that is here. Sacred angles of all that is here. The essence and vibration of sound is here. You may begin by posing your questions.
I have a question about, I don't know if this will lie in your area of expertise, but can you talk a bit about how like sound and frequency work with the human body in a physical way or in a non-physical way? Can you just talk a little bit about the effect it has?
Yes, because your collective has decided to experience your physicality with a common element of a specific image. What you essentially see through that lens is a physical body of an hard object, if you will. Your body's being of mass that is solidified. However, in essence, it is simply molecules that are close to each other that form such vision, such image of a body. So sound and frequency, literally what it does, rearranges those molecules into a specific shape according to the tone and vibration of such frequency. Your scientists have played around and experimented with sand, if you will. They place sand on a surface such as a drum, if you will, and they played different frequencies and vibration and sound, and within each sound creates a specific shape for that sound, physical manifestation of that specific frequency. So with sound and frequency, we are able to rearrange blockages, emotional traumas within you. You are able to rearrange what is called cancer, all kinds of diseases within your body. Disease is nothing but a disarrangement of such a molecular structure, in a sense, disorganized way of putting your Legos together. Sound and frequency is the base of the universe. as you expand further and further in your consciousness, you will become more aware of your own essence as sound and frequency. When you lighten up, you release the idea of dense physical reality and you embrace the new reality of energy floating on frequency and vibration and sound. So it is crucial to experiment with such a technology, an organic technology. And we welcome you to play around with that idea.
Well, that was very appropriate that you use sand as an example. um, so, what was I gonna say? I'm still a little foggy, Nicolette. Let's talk about, because we're tapping into geometry. So let's talk about the pyramids.
What would you like to know about the pyramids?
Well, I guess we could talk about yeah, go ahead.
We could talk about like the geometry and how that works technologically with the dispersing of energies, or just the technology of a pyramid.
Yes. In a simplistic form, the pyramid is a connection of points to a point. A pyramid has a base of 4 points that connect to one specific point at the top. What you forget to notice is the structures within the pyramid itself. That, in a sense, interconnectedness between all of the points within the pyramid that makes up the shape of the pyramid to reach the apex, the point, the top of that pyramid. And within the pyramid itself, you are able to create internal structures to accentuate, heighten the energy of the pyramid itself. And in essence, it is like you are building wind tunnels within it to harness the energy, to be able to be channeled through that point into the cosmos. Pyramids are antennas, advanced antennas like your antennas on the roof of your houses. However, they are slightly more advanced. And depending on the element that is used, the stones that are used to create the pyramid, you are able to harness specific frequencies and energies.
I know in like Egypt, the pyramids are aligned with certain like constellations, right? Or something like that. Like, I don't know. Hey, didn't a pyramid come up too, Nicolette, with like in Hawaii where you asked about it?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's an interesting theme that's been coming up with pyramids that's not even just Egyptian. So how might we be utilizing that? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, we just mentioned that pyramids are antennas.
That was a theme.
Yes. Antennas are there for a specific connection to a specific point somewhere in the universes. The pyramid of Giza in Egypt are connected to the Sirius constellation. It is a calling card or a way of communication from the Sirius constellation to Mother Earth. The same with other pyramids across your globe are different entities that have assisted that specific population with expanding their consciousness. And as a thank you, if you will, they have left or helped them with the construction of such pyramids to be able to connect with them easier in a different format.
Wow. And then there's some pyramids that are four-sided, some are three-sided, right? Aren't they? Isn't it? It could be both, right?
I don't know. That's pretty cool. Can it be three-sided?
A pyramid can be three-sided. However, it will be very steep.
Oh.
It will be almost like an obelisk.
Oh yeah.
However, the majority of your pyramids are four-sided, denoting the fourth dimensional aspect of expansion. You live in a three-dimensional world. By building those pyramids, having the four sides reminds you of the step up, if you will, the fourth dimensional level that you are attempting to reach.
I see. That makes sense. Got it.
Mm. I feel like there are like, I don't know if I would say like dormant pyramids that will be coming online and like used by civilizations that maybe built them, but for the purpose of using them like in the future. Is that a thing?
Yes, keep in mind that all pyramids have been used at one point. However, there are specific points in your timeline where such pyramids have been placed aside for a moment, awaiting a specific point in time in the future for them to be reactivated.
Mm.
Keep in mind that these pyramids have been built on specific energy lines on your Mother Earth. So, although the connection is between the civilization and on your Earth and the civilization out there, there is also a specific connection with your Mother Gaia. There is an interconnected energies that links all the pyramids, the same as the mycelial network of trees that connects them underground to all other trees across your Mother Gaia. The pyramids have an energetical ley line that connects them all together, creating a super conductor of energy across your Mother Gaia, helping her frequency and vibration to calibrate as well. Everything is interconnected beyond what your eyes and mind can see.
And would you say like that connection also is this idea of whatever the pyramid represents? Like if you build kind of anything with a pyramid, like now that I'm thinking about it, I created that pyramid sandcastle. Oh my God, sand. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, talk about
That
that.
in
And like
Hawaii.
people make like pyramid copper like structures that they like meditate in. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. True. True. Um,
Yes,
yeah.
all of those creations of an attainable size are there simply to remind you of the power that is within you, a permission slip to access the power that is within. Because in reality, for one of your humans to be able to build a massive pyramid for communication would be nonsensical. So you will use pyramids of hand size, if you will, things you can adjust and move easily to allow you to reconnect with that energy. Because essentially, whether you have that pyramid in your hand, on your desk, in your home, that is of an appropriate size, you are technically can always connect with the pyramids across the planet to have that connection. Remember, you are all energies, molecules floating in your three-dimensional world.
Mm.
As the molecules travel the ether of your mother planet, there is a sea of web of plasma, if you will, that is unseen. And through that plasma is where the connectedness is. It is, in a sense, if you look into your brain and you see the neurons and the web of electrical lines, if you will, literally all over your brain that exists in your three-dimensional world, however, is unseen through your eyes. So as you humans in your what seems to be a physical dense body, the molecules that create that body are interconnected and linked to those web of lines all over your hologramic world. So essentially you could set an intention to connect to that pyramid, and so it will be, because you are literally linked and connected to everything that is around you. What is intention but an energy thought that is traveling through those lines of interconnectedness of your world, of your existence, of your being, of who you are? The essence is of energy. It is very easy for your three-dimensional mind to make a separation of all. When we have mentioned before that there is no separation, that is exactly what we mean. That you are interlinked in a dense web of energy lines. That you swim in a dense web of energy lines. Was that sufficient?
mhm.
Yeah. I'll think
Are you able to comprehend what we just said? That literally, as you are standing now, wherever you are, there are links, lines of energy, a dense web of infinite lines that connect you to everything that is on your planet and across the universe.
Quite a big thing to conceptualize.
that.
Indeed, through your three-dimensional limited definition, it seems that way. And the key operative word is seem that way. However, that is not the structure of your reality, of your energy essence. How is it that oftentimes you are able to think what your friend was just saying? when you guys create the same thought in the same moment. It is because of those links, those lines that connect you from one to another, that you are able to be on the same frequency and vibration and seem to have thought the same thought. It is simply that the thought has traveled to both of you at the same time.
Yes. Cool. How about any permission slip or exercise that the three of us can do that you're inspired to share with us that involves geometry, sound, or whatever you want to throw in there?
Yes. We will help you simplify an idea. Since we have just spoken about the infinite web of connections between all that is, attempt to draw a web between the three of you, a channel that goes from you to the channel, and visualize and believe and know that there is a 3-point connection. There's a line where energy travels on that line. It keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going. It is forever there. And practice mind games, if you will. Think of something as it travels that line from that person to the channel, and try to guess what that word, number, thought, whatever it is. You'll be very surprised that you are able to come up with the exact same frequency and vibration of that thought. However, it begins with knowing that you do have a line that connects all of you. Not a belief system, a knowing.
Yep.
And the moment you realize what happened, your whole world will change. Because at that point, you would have proven to yourself that such line exists. And the moment that you believe what just occurred, you know what just occurred was real, will literally change your whole paradigm of your three-dimensional world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Begin with guessing simple ideas. Do not complicate it. Begin with numbers from 1 to 10, even 1 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And little by little, increase gradually the probability of guessing that number. Although in reality, you are not guessing anything, you are simply tapping into the frequency and vibration of such an idea that literally will travel from one point in line to the next.
Yeah. I get the knowing portion of that, because for most people it seems like a fun idea, but it's not often executed in a way that is very synchronized. You know, it's like people play that game, but it usually only gets so far because it's like, I think limitations creep in and we're just not used to that type of knowing. I think that's a part of it.
Yeah.
Is we're like not used to having that level of certainty and connectivity. So
Yeah.
you don't see it manifested in a very like repetitive, consistent way that often. But I think synchronicity is definitely one hint of that, like a synchronistic web where you just naturally living and you see those connections already, but then it's almost like a level up is actually doing it intentionally in that kind of way.
And if we think about how it's so connected, I mean, we'll talk about something and then the other two will be like, "Oh my god, I had this exact same synchronicity," or this, it's like it's all so connected.
Yeah.
And indeed, allow us to help you visualize a simpler version of our geometric existence. You may have ran across your schooling a paperwork that is made out of grid, little squares, a
Mhm.
piece of paper that has multiple little tiny squares. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's come up before.
On that piece of paper, you are able to draw. You are able to connect one dot to another to create a shape or a form or a beautiful drawing. Once the drawing is finished and is colored, all that you see is the complete whole version of that creation. However, in the background, what there really is all those points and connections that created that drawing. Those are the lines that we are speaking with in a very simple way to explain it, of how you are interconnected to all that is. You are not only interconnected to each other in that sense, you are also interconnected and plugged into the universe, which is the
Mhm.
grid of lines, those little squares everywhere, infinite squares.
Mm.
When we say you are part of all that is, you are all that is. It is exactly what you mean, what we mean. There is no point of non-connection on that grid because it is all interconnected to each other. A point of non-connection does not exist on such a connected form of existence. And we go further to the idea that whatever you do in your universe ripples across the universes.
Mhm.
As your world and universe is interconnected in itself, it is also interconnected to other universes, parallel, infinite universes.
Mm.
This is why the expansion and the work on self and integration and rising spiritually is so crucial, because as you rise, you also help the rest of the grid rise. As your frequency goes from one frequency level to another, it is in essence rising the total frequency of all.
Mm. Can you talk a little bit about the energetics of a Merkaba? Is that how it's called? Been coming into our field recently, and I don't know much about it.
Yes, the Merkaba is a complex, not complicated, complex set of geometric shapes of octahedrons within each other that are spinning at a very high rate. It is essence a engine of energy,
Mm.
engine of sound that is able to traverse time and space. It is a symbol of the complex nature of existence and the powerful nature of existence. It is as if the it is the point of origin. It is the 0 point.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Was that sufficient?
Mm-hmm.
I feel a little bit scrambled. How about this? How about if you're having somewhat of a scrambled feeling or whatever, what is a sound or a shape to tap into to feel more of a integration?
Yeah.
Yes. Keep in mind that your three-dimensional mind, your ego, so to speak, is there to complicate the matter.
Mm,
What seems to be discombobulated, in essence, isn't.
yeah.
It is simply an emotion or an experience of some sort.
Yes.
However, a nice, easy permission slip is to see yourself as the pyramid with the points connecting to each other.
There we go.
Very simple mathematical equation.
Mhm.
For example, if you see yourself in a discombobulated state, bring yourself together and view yourself sitting in a pyramid with a point above you pointing to four
Yeah.
other points. That thought itself, that intention alone, brings you back to your basic connectedness and geometric shape. That will help you get away from the seeming idea of discombobulation, as in reality, you are never discombobulated. You are perfect in design in each moment. The experience may seem discombobulated, but your essence isn't. So bring your back to your essence and simplify your shape.
Ooh. Oh my God, it just hit me. The shapeshifter. Oh
Oh
my
my God.
God.
Yes, we gave you the example of the pyramid. You can look at yourself as a rectangle or a triangle. The point is, you are never discombobulated.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's totally getting a kick out of that.
Oh my God. That is so good. We're talking about shapes, and I was like, oh, from this like shapeshifter energy, I feel like all shifty and all over the place. And like the pyramid is a shape, which is kind of something I touched on and that we were talking about, is a shape that makes you focus. So it's almost like the pyramid can house all of these different shapes or something and like focus them into a single expression or something like that.
Yes. And remember
That
the
makes so much sense.
triangle, the idea of a triangle,
Mm,
of having 3 points, a neutral point,
yeah.
one extreme to another extreme. Yes?
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's a two-dimensional world. Your four-dimensional world, you flip it over and you have 2 more points.
Mm, yes.
Always see yourself as the pyramid, as the point in the pyramid, whether it's on the top or hovering,
Mm,
floating in the middle.
yeah. Wow. Hmm. I'm seeing myself floating on the top of it, like spinning around super fast, like at the top.
Yes.
Almost
And
like,
remind yourself that you are a complex, perfect design at all times in existence.
mm,
Discombobulation is nothing but an experience of discombobulation.
mhm.
If your essence was indeed discombobulated, you wouldn't be able to understand what's going on.
Mm.
If you were of a discombobulated design, you would be in a state of confusion and psychosis.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the schizophrenic nature.
How else are you
That,
able?
that I was, yeah.
How else are you able to experience a discombobulation if your mind wasn't in a perfect design form?
Yeah.
How are you able to experience any experience if your mind isn't able to create such an experience? It is only when you are where your design is discombobulated, where your true essence in design is discombobulated, where you wouldn't be able to make sense of anything. It's as if you don't have the right equipment to be able to think or understand your reality. We're simplifying this, of course.
Mhm.
It is as if you build an engine that has missing parts and you're expecting the engine to function as a perfect design engine. It is through your perfect design that you are able to experience the infinite. It is through your perfect design, in essence, that you are able to experience anything you desire on the spectrum of all that is.
Cool. Wow. I think that wraps up what I needed.
That, yeah.
I'm
My
definitely
mind
gonna
right
listen to
now is
that.
like,
I've just like put so many pieces together.
I know.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
There's so many ties
Yeah.
within that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Thank you.
And
That
like,
was so helpful. That really like brought a whole new perspective.
yeah, and
Yes.
the past 2 days, like with my friend, I've been talking to her about her husband's
Yeah.
schizophrenia. And so then
Yeah.
for me to like experience like that shapeshifter and then the kind of discombobulation and then Toni kind of like bringing through that.
Yeah. And it's like we're like multidimensional beings. So it's like
Yeah.
we need to learn how to like maybe we're not constantly shape shifting into a jaguar and a beetle and a but like we are in a way,
Definitely.
And I had a neighbor that went through the same sort of psychotic break, and it's been really hard to comprehend, but it really kind of, yeah, brings it together now in a new way of understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely gonna listen to that again.
yeah, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming through and bringing such a wide uh, wisdom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
glad, glad I was able to get what I needed to get out so you could answer it.
It
What
is
are words?
our pleasure to be able to connect with you through such a sacred geometrical fashion, as
Yes.
we are all interconnected through the points of all that is.
Mm.
As always, we love you unconditionally